Everyone around Blake Lively thought that keeping the lawsuit going at this point, after everything that had gone on over the last year and a half, was just an idiotic idea.
So according to these new text messages, Blake Lively asked Sony to delete evidence.
There were certain dailies that Blake Lively wanted Sony to destroy.
According to the narrative surrounding the dispute, the turning point in the legal battle allegedly came when Blake Lively reportedly sought to have raw filming material removed. That single move is described as the moment the lawsuit conflict with Justin Baldoni began to collapse towards settlement.
But Blake asking us to destroy some of the dailies. Want to tell you what we will and won't do. Also, going to ask Bridget to contact all vendors and ask them to delete all dailies.
Inside film production, dailies are the untouched clips captured on set each day. They often include candid moments before and after takes, making them incredibly valuable if questions ever arise about what happened during filming. In the story being told, the request to erase this material was framed as an attempt to eliminate potentially damaging evidence. The twist, however, is that the opposing side was said to have preserved duplicate copies, turning what was meant to be a protective move into a serious liability.
Part of that is we don't want to be bullied and left out. We want to keep our man card.
An email reportedly sent to leadership at Sony Pictures Motion Picture Group added fuel to the controversy. The message allegedly noted that a request had been made to remove certain dailies and even contact vendors to confirm deletion. What made the situation stand out was the claim that such a request was highly unusual for a film that didn't involve sensitive or explicit material. Around the same period, tensions between both teams were said to escalate dramatically after private communications from Baldoni's side surfaced, raising the stakes and intensifying the conflict behind the scenes.
Why is Blake demanding that everyone, the vendors, and all of Sony delete the dailies?
Believing the footage issue was resolved, the narrative says confidence grew, heading into a deposition. During sworn questioning, attorneys reportedly asked whether any request had been made to destroy the dailies. The response, according to the claims, was a firm denial. The controversy deepened when the earlier email resurfaced, suggesting a major contradiction. The story portrays this as a pivotal moment. The belief that the footage was gone collided with the revelation that backups allegedly existed all along.
We live in an age where capitalism is rampant and it feeds off of insecurity and the feeling like we're not enough.
The story continues by claiming the biggest miscalculation happened when the request to erase the footage was made. What wasn't expected, according to the narrative, was that Justin Baldoni and his studio Wayfarer Studios had preserved their own private copies of the material. Believing the recordings were gone, the account says Blake Lively felt confident presenting her version of events, including serious allegations tied to a dance sequence filmed for the project. The turning point came when attorney Brian Friedman allegedly released an extended, unedited clip from that very scene. The footage, paired with clear audio captured from a microphone worn during filming, was described as contradicting the accusations and shifting the narrative dramatically. If the material had truly vanished, the dispute would have been reduced to competing testimonies. But once the recordings surfaced, the situation reportedly changed overnight.
It seems like every set that Blake has been on has been super problematic with a ton of issues, and I just find it very strange.
The conflict then expanded beyond footage and into the realm of private communications. The narrative introduces Jennifer Abel, a PR professional who had worked closely with Baldoni's team. Her company device reportedly contained years of messages and strategy discussions. After she left the firm Jonesworks, the phone was taken back under the explanation that the number needed to be transferred. The account claims she lost access to the data at that point. Soon after, publicist Leslie Sloan allegedly contacted crisis specialist Melissa Nathan, stating she had already seen the messages and warning that legal action could follow. The timing of those events, according to the storyline, raised major questions and deepened the controversy even further.
according to Lively, Ashley found her way to Lively to tell her that Stephanie Jones was trying to reach her because she had obtained Jane Abel's phones that had some text messages or messages that she wanted Blake to see.
According to the storyline, the situation created a major dilemma for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. The claim is that their team had already seen private messages that were never meant for them, which meant they couldn't simply pass the material to the media without raising questions about how it was obtained. The narrative suggests they needed a legal pathway that would make the messages appear properly acquired. To do this, the script alleges a paper company called Vanson Incorporated was created. This entity reportedly filed a quiet John Doe lawsuit in New York over supposed contract disputes tied to the film It Ends With Us. The filing, as the story claims, existed mainly to obtain subpoena power. Soon after, the company demanded that Stephanie Jones turn over all the data from a former employee's phone.
And used that to file a lawsuit in New York State Court to issue the subpoena that we now see to Stephanie Jones to obtain all the documents that Stephanie Jones told her at the very least that she has.
The subpoena reportedly focused on documents connected to harassment and retaliation claims, even though the narrative says no official case using those terms had been filed at the time. The story further claims the existence of the messages had already been hinted at through a chain of contacts involving Jennifer Abel and Ashley Avignon. According to the account, the phone's contents were handed over without notifying the opposing side, preventing any legal challenge. Once the documents were secured, the lawsuit was allegedly withdrawn. Shortly afterward, the messages appeared in reporting from the New York Times, which the narrative says gave the story mainstream credibility and amplified the public fallout.
This backhanded move just shows me that they actually had no intention of filing their lawsuit. That instead they were hoping to get the documents that they had in a way that they could, on its face, say was clean and get the New York Times hit piece out.
The script then claims tensions escalated even further during the legal battle. Attorney Brian Friedman reportedly submitted a sworn declaration describing a Valentine's Day phone call with someone connected to Taylor Swift. The account alleges that Lively's legal team pushed for a public show of support on social media and warned of private messages being leaked if that support did not materialize. It also claims there was a request for old conversations to be erased. These allegations, as presented in the narrative, are framed as a dramatic escalation in an already high-stakes dispute.
According to Brian Friedman's deposition, he claims that somebody close to Taylor Swift, we presume Papa Swift, her dad, contacted him in February of 2025 and claimed that about 5 months prior, Blake Lively had instructed Taylor Swift to delete their text messages.
The story claims the conflict reached a breaking point when private friendships were dragged into the spotlight. According to this narrative, tensions rose so high that even the longtime bond between Blake Lively and Taylor Swift became part of the legal drama. The script says lawyers representing Brian Friedman submitted a declaration that triggered immediate backlash. Lively's team reportedly rushed to court, asking that the filing be removed from public view, calling the claims false and damaging. The judge, Louis Lyman, agreed to strike the document, stating it was not relevant to the core dispute and could turn the case into a media spectacle. Publicly, this was framed as a quick victory for Lively's side, but the narrative insists the decision was about keeping the courtroom focused, not deciding who was telling the truth. Soon after, gossip outlets began reporting that the once close friendship had cooled dramatically and that Swift wanted distance from the controversy.
A source close to Taylor Swift says that Taylor feels she has no choice but to draw a line. Their friendship collapsed months ago, and she doesn't want blurred obligations lingering.
The storyline then shifts to the foundation of the lawsuit itself. In legal disputes, proving protected activity is essential, showing that someone raised concerns and then faced consequences. The script claims Lively attempted to build her case around that concept. It describes how, when production on It Ends With Us resumed after industry strikes in November 2023, her legal team allegedly delivered a list of strict conditions to Wayfarer Studios. These demands reportedly included on-set safeguards, restrictions on comments about appearance, and permission for personal oversight during filming. The studio agreed, prioritizing completion of the project. According to the narrative, the dispute escalated later when a much longer list of accusations appeared in official filings. During legal discovery, attorneys reportedly searched for the earliest version of this expanded document, but could not find proof it existed at the time it was said to have been presented. The script claims this discovery raised serious doubts and fueled arguments that the case had been reshaped over time.